Are you freaking out over a huge PowerPoint presentation for a huge opportunity? I've got you covered, and in more ways than one. Hey folks, today we're going to try something just a little bit different. If you clicked on this video, chances are you may be in the throes of developing a PowerPoint presentation for a huge opportunity and you're freaking out. If that's you or somebody you know, you're going to get a lot out of this video. But before we get into the details, here's what we're going to do, and we're changing it up, and I'm really, really excited about it. We've got a link up here. If you're looking at LinkedIn, there'll be a link in the post up above me or below me in the comments if you're looking at this video on YouTube. If that's you and you click on the link, you will be able to tell us a little bit about yourself, upload your presentation, and snag one of the limited number of half-hour slots we're going to open up each week to help you. We'll review your presentation with you in the space of a half hour and give you killer tips. We've got your back. We'll help you get that presentation to a much better level. So please take advantage of it. Again, the link's up above or, if you're on LinkedIn, or below if you're on YouTube. Okay, let's get to it. What makes Camaret and me, as the founder and president, so absolutely positively sure that we're just damn good at making PowerPoint presentations? Well, we've been doing it for more than 3 decades, and the deals that we have helped our clients close have been huge. Our presentations have helped our clients close millions of bucks in venture funding, really win deals that they should never have won. I mean, they're small, very small clients pitching really large organizations for large pieces of business, and they won. And most recently, which is really cool, one of our presentation actually allowed our client to sell their company for tens of millions of bucks, which is really, really exciting and something we're really proud of. So, how did we do it? What is it? How do we approach our development of these kinds of presentations for the big win? That's what this video is about, and we're going to take you there in 7 steps. Let's go. First, know who you are presenting to. Okay, this is totally obvious, right? Know who you're presenting to, but more importantly, understand the gap you're trying to bridge. Are you a small company pitching to a really big enterprise? Well, you better speak both visually and verbally in a way that they relate to. Are you trying to bridge are you trying to bridge cultures? Perhaps you're an American corporation pitching a Japanese corporation. Again, understand what it is they're going to be more open to, what it is within their culture they're going to be more open to, and present in that way. Speak their language, speak their corporate language, speak their cultural language, speak their visual language. And even if the gap is not that huge, even if you're just selling B2B, know this. There are going to be people in that buying committee sitting around that table waiting for your presentation who have no clue what you do. They may sort of have a general understanding, they may know enough to be dangerous, but they don't understand the nuances, the complexities, and the fundamental benefits you can bring to their organization. So it's up to you in the opening part of your presentation to make a public service. Explain what it is that you do in a language that anyone can understand. Second, you are not selling. You are not selling. Burn that into your brain. No one likes to be sold to. In fact, if you are making the presentation of your life for a huge opportunity, chances are the people you're presenting to are pretty sophisticated. They want to make a decision on their own. And it's up to you to develop a presentation that presents evidence step by step and builds a case for you. So you're not selling, not at all. You are building a case for yourself, your firm, your organization, and the services that you provide. That's what you're doing. Third, I love this one because people are going to flip out when they hear it. The number of slides doesn't matter. The number of slides does not matter. I think that when people say to you, you have to create develop a PowerPoint in 10 slides or 5 slides, that's all we want, 5 slides, that's it. That's totally wrong-headed. Here's what does matter. If you're making the presentation, what matters most of all is that you understand your time window and that your presentation take no more than 75% of your time window. Okay, so what is that? So if you have an hour, you take 3/4 of an hour. You make sure your presentation can be delivered in 3/4 of an hour. And in that 3/4 of an hour, you can put as many slides as you want, as many slides as you need to develop or make the case for you. Now, caveat, the slides need to be quickly consumable, so they should be visual as possible, or have very little text on them. So if you're going to show people a lot of slides in a quick period of time, make them quickly consumable, quickly digestible. That's really, really important. So remember, it's not the number of slides, it's the time window that's important. And then it's the quality of the information that's on the slide that makes all the difference in the world. Give yourself that elbow room. You'll have a better presentation for it. Fourth, show more, tell less. PowerPoint, Keynote, all of those pieces of software, they're very, very visual, so take advantage of that. And remember the people on the other side of the table. Chances are they're pretty sophisticated folks. Chances are they don't read the National Enquirer. They're more accustomed to having Vanity Fair or Architectural Digest on their coffee tables. So that means you've got to really up the quality of the photos, the stock photos you're choosing, the photos that you've taken or had taken for your organization have to be great, and the graphs and charts that you're using as opposed to, say, tables. So, right, first, forget the tables, use graphs and charts to convey numbers. And when you are showing what your company does, rather than something like this, show something like this. Same company, same product, completely different set of production values. Rather than showing a portrait like this, show a portrait like this. Again, you can see the difference in the production values, right? You're shooting higher. And this is the kind of thing that raises the story, raises your presentation to a higher level so you can open that conversation at a much higher level. Fifth, minimize and standardize. All right. PowerPoint and Prezi and Keynote, you know, you can make animations, things flying and flipping and all kinds of things. Don't use them. People use them so much they are distracting. You don't want people distracted from your message. Rather, use those tools as visual cues to help your audience follow along in the presentation. So, when we create even the most mission critical, biggest presentations for our clients, we only use ever 2 transitions. And let me tell you what they are. First, from slide to slide, we use a very simple wipe transition. Very simple. Okay? And this gives your viewer, the people receiving your information, the ability to breathe and understand they're getting to the next idea. Just a very simple transition. It's a cue. And then, if you're going to the next section of your presentation, the next really big idea, we use a second kind of transition, a doorway opening, or something a little bit more dramatic. This gives your audience the visual cue that now we're going to the next big idea. That's important. So just use 2. Just a real clean, elegant transition between your slides and something a little bit more dramatic to open up the next big idea or the next section of your presentation. It's so important. And please do not have your every line of text flying in, especially if you've followed my previous advice saying, well, you know, you can have as many slides as you want. That demands that the information you present on the slides, especially if you're presenting them in quick succession, be quickly digestible and sit there quietly so that while you're speaking, the recipients can read through the text refer back, refer forward, and digest the entire slide. So do not animate the text. Just have it sit there. It's okay, because that text is conveying, buttressing, supporting everything that you are actually saying. Sixth, rehearse, rehearse, rehearse. All right, here are the rules for rehearsing. First, don't rehearse in front of anybody. Just rehearse quietly alone in your office with the door shut. You don't want any interruptions. You don't want any peanut gallery comments. You want to listen to what you're saying. You want to hear the order of ideas, because as you're rehearsing, you're going to reshuffle those slides. You may be making edits. You're going to be stopping and starting and then starting all over again. And here is where you make sure that you can give your presentation inside that 75% time window, right? So if you have 60 minutes, your presentation is 45 minutes long. Give yourself the time to rehearse. If your presentation window is 30 minutes, you're going to make a 20-minute presentation. That means you've got to give yourself that space to really rehearse the presentation and make sure you're going to hit that time window. And as you rehearse, you're going to start memorizing what you're going to say, because this is the most important thing. Make sure you can give your presentation without reading the notes, without turning and reading your slides. You need to be able to give your presentation with the ability to make eye contact with the people on the other side of the table. And you've got to really be able to engage with them. So consider your body language. You know, none of this and none of the hands in the pockets. Open. If you watch Steve Jobs making a presentation, he's always open. He has memorized, he has rehearsed, and it's so important. It's so important for the development process of your PowerPoint. It's really also important to convey confidence and connect with the people you are making a case for your business. And seventh, if you're in the throes right now of making a presentation for a big opportunity, take advantage of the link above if you're watching on LinkedIn, or the link below if you're watching on YouTube, and send us a draft, snag an appointment, snag a half-hour review. It will make all the difference in the world. If you're not in the throes of making a presentation, do a public service and share this with everybody you know. We will be doing this forever. There will always be a limited number of slots every single week available to folks in the throes of making those big presentations and developing big presentations for those huge opportunities. We have your back. Okay, if you've liked this video, please subscribe, follow me on LinkedIn, follow me on YouTube, and until next time, have a great business day.